Good evening, this is Oscar, and this is my reflection on the project that I'm submitting labeled Lending an Ear. So, to talk a little bit about how it felt to actively listen, I learned that when you actively listen, you have to totally pay attention to what the person is saying, and you have to focus completely on every single word. You have to give feedback when you're speaking to the individual, and in some cases, you may need to summarize and not only summarize but probe for more information and reflect on a little bit of what they've told you to make them feel like you're listening to them, that you're paying attention. I also learned that you have to give your undivided attention, so you can't have any interruptions, but you have to maintain eye contact. With maintaining eye contact, it makes the other individual feel, again, like you're paying attention. And I also learned through this project that whenever you give verbal encouragers, uh, it helps the person express what they're trying to say. But you also want to be too careful not to give too many verbal encouragers, because then you're speaking for the person. So I learned that just giving a verbal encourager, for example, saying the word right, or just restating a little bit of the sentence of what they're telling you, helps the person understand that you are listening, and more importantly, actively listening. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the rationale behind why I chose the questions that I asked. And in speaking to Frank about his interaction with a healthcare provider, he started to state that he was dealing with a doctor that was able to see his eyes, so an optometrist that would assist him. Now, mind you, the key indicator here is that it's a doctor that is willing to help him even though he doesn't have any health insurance. Now, the pro is him being able to see a doctor, but a little bit of the con is how far he has to travel to see the doctor. So that's why I chose that question about the commute. I wanted him to express and tell us what it was like to have to commute to see that doctor. Living in Florida, uh, Orlando, Florida to be exact, is central Florida, in the central part of Florida. But when you go to Port Charlotte, you're actually necessarily going south into the coast. So as Frank stated, it's about a 2.5 hour commute, 2 hour commute, which he enjoys seeing Florida. But I'm sure it's it's not a road easily traveled. Another reason I asked questions about his interaction was, as I said before, not having insurance, which is major. Healthcare right now in our day and age is something that's being debated even in the White House. So it was important that I ask him about not having insurance because it ties into the entire conversation. I also wanted him to reiterate on the most challenging part for him, which internally I know that he feels that not having health care is not a good thing. And as he stated when he was speaking and reflecting, that something he'd like to do better or change is actually work to get more coverage. And lastly, just having the conversation with him and truly understanding how he feels uh, was an awesome interaction. But I learned that just by paying 100% attention to him, listening to what he has to say, speaking with him, and not judging him for the fact that he has to commute and that he has no insurance, made him feel like he could tell me his story, and I appreciate the interaction. Thank you.